welcome everyone to episode 1 of Social Listening. I'm Dennis.
And I'm Steve.
Together we are
Brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
You got it.
How many times did we rehearse that one?
Brother-in-laws, yeah.
Thank you for joining us. This is our third or fourth time re-recording because we just had a few problems. We're not perfectionists, but we just like to think that we can do things a little bit better than the last time.
Yeah. So this one definitely is going to be released though, because I'm not doing it again.
No, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again.
Good.
Our purpose of this podcast is to talk about all things that are currently going on, bring on a whole lot of guests that are passionate about a certain topic, and to basically learn from everyone we bring on, learn from each other, basically just be ourselves. Yeah. Cool.
And no judgment, number one.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's a very good point. So everyone we bring on is going to have an opinion, and we're going to have our own opinions and beliefs, absolutely. But we're not here to judge, and we're not here to tell anyone that they're right or wrong. Yeah. We're here to disagree.
Maybe on occasion, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, that's right. We'll disagree, but we'll never pass judgment on anyone because especially in this current time, it's I don't think we've ever been more divided as humans.
That's right. No, I agree with you. Well, I mean, look, on that, did you see Richard Branson flying? Now, there's even people saying negative things about that now, where he didn't fly. It's not in space. Did you hear that? There are people saying that he just was on the edge of space. He's not really an astronaut.
Oh, right. Oh,
it's just, even that people are divisive on. It's just getting beyond the joke, I reckon. But anyway.
Are there people saying that it didn't happen?
That hasn't popped up, but the fact that he didn't go far enough into space now. Yeah. Which sort of came from Bezos, because obviously it's a billionaire race to the space.
Space race, yeah. And
anyway.
I mean, in that period of Branson, which was only a couple of days ago, we had Ash Barty win Wimbledon.
Yep.
We had the McGregor and Poirier, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Did you see his leg?
Oh, sorry, his ankle.
Oh, his ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he still gave an interview. Blood pouring out of his ear, his leg snapped in half. It's like me.
Yeah, no, well, no, you have a huge pain threshold.
I'll be crying. Get me out of here.
We had that. We had Djokovic and beat Berrettini.
And he won 20 Grand Slams. He's tied now with Federer and Nadal. So
$151 million in prize money.
Yeah, that's just the prize money.
Just the prize money, let alone sponsorship.
That's right. They make more money doing that.
We had England versus Italy in the Euro.
Yep.
You a fan?
I've been watching the highlights on YouTube. I don't love soccer. If Australia's not playing, I don't really care about it. But it was too early in the morning to get up. But I saw the brawls and that afterwards. Did you see the Pommies bashing up the Italian fans and all that?
Yeah. And
that was horrible.
Oh, well, it's half expected, isn't it? And then we finished off that weekend or early the week with Branson flying into space.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like that.
And now he's giving away tickets.
I saw that through a maze, which means you won't win. Basically. Yeah. He's only giving one ticket and a friend, but that one entry ticket gets to choose the friend. Yeah. But yeah.
Would you go if you had that type of money?
100%.
Well, I mean, you do have that type of money.
No, I know.
If you had access to go.
250 grand for American for one ticket. And did you see, he didn't really stay in there for that long in space. It was only an 5 minutes.
Oh, was it? Was it that short?
5-10 minutes, and that's it. They land.
Maybe the whole journey was like an hour or 90 minutes or something.
Because they take the plane up first, and then they drop the rocket, it drops, and then it takes off. Yeah, it looks great. Imagine that. I'd love to do that. I will do it one day.
You will do it, and you're a big space fan.
Oh, huge. Yeah.
And some of our guests that we're going to have on this season don't truly believe in space as a solar system. Yep. Don't believe the moon landing happened.
I was going to buy a ticket on this show for that Amaze thing, and if I win it, I'm going to take your mate with me.
Well, that's all okay. All right.
That's the deal if we win.
Well, when my mate Adam comes on, which hopefully will be in the next week or so. Yeah. When we release
if he'll come, would he come? I like to ask him. Would he?
Absolutely. He was over here on the weekend, and I said, "Hey, you're going to be our first guest."
Okay, cool. And he was happy with that?
Absolutely. Right, but we're going to pick a couple of topics to talk about. Yep. When he comes on, and we'll concentrate on those.
Yep. Cool. Sounds good.
So,
So why don't you
Stephen.
tell me about yourself?
Okay,
Tell the
thanks.
audience.
It's a bit like a first date, isn't it? Now, you can probably see me at home for all the 2 or 3 viewers watching this that I'm fiddling around with equipment. This is our first kind of serious podcast that we're doing in the sense of using the equipment, so I'm still getting used to it. But a bit about myself, 35 years of age, married.
Yep.
To a
How long?
So when we recorded this last time, you asked me, and I was thinking, oh gosh, how long? But it was in 2017, April 8th.
You've got that written down.
Actually, do you have it written there?
No, the question was, where did you go the first trip once you were married? After you got married. And then you were like, Vanuatu?
Vanuatu, yeah, that's right. That's right. So, 35 years of age, married, beautiful wife, Avril, little dog, Chloe, also an Insta-famous dog,
Yep.
Chloe _the _Cafoodle 19
There you go.
on Insta.
Yep.
Lifetime of wheeling and dealing, and currently doing a bit of work around technology consulting. How about you?
How about me? I'm 41 and I've got 2 kids, a teenage daughter and a 9-year-old daughter, a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I am married as well so, to your wife's sister.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. That's why. That's how we're brother-in-laws. Our wives are sisters. I've met her when I was 19 and been together ever since. So, yeah. And I run my own business called List Social, which is a new startup, prop tech startup that I launched in Feb this year, and going through investment rounds and learning a lot doing that as well.
Yeah. Is that your first time going through like private equity or
investment rounds? Yeah,
Yep.
100%. Yeah. All the other businesses I've worked for myself, by myself. But this product, I believe, needed to have external parties involved to help me in the whole process.
Yep.
And it needs a lot of money to do a direct-to-consumer brand. So that's why basically I went down that path and been getting some good traction, which is good.
So what's involved in
getting investment?
Yeah.
A lot of LinkedIn messages.
Oh, that's to get in front of them?
Yeah. One of the key investors that I found was I met him through LinkedIn. You get a lot of no's, a lot of maybes, a lot of just ignoring.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's a numbers game. You just got to keep going. I would spend 2 to 3 hours a day copy and pasting to messages and, testing the limits of my LinkedIn membership to see how many you can do. But that's, believe it or not, LinkedIn. I mean, I didn't think that would be possible. I thought you need to know these people and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, some people are willing to take a chance, and a lot of them as well in their profile, LinkedIn profile, they actually have if they're an angel investor or if they're an investor.
Yep.
So I would do a search based on that and send them a message. But a lot of startups, there are a lot of young people, because I've joined this like startup group as well, and I'm no longer a member of it, but it was like Startup Victoria, and a lot of young people they can get ripped off really easily, because there's a lot of sharks out there saying we can get you in front of investors, but you've got to pay this much and all that sort of thing. I fell for one of them, but there's a lot more out there, and some people do get stung, but they think they're getting value out of it. But it's just basically startup's a new term for business that doesn't make any money.
Yeah,
It's as simple as that. And it's because of these big unicorns that make hundreds of millions of dollars overseas. It's just starting to take off here, where people are willing to gamble on it because of Canva, because of Airwallex, because of
Mr. Yum's another one.
Mr. Yum is the most recent one. But what's the Afterpay? That really Canva and Afterpay really made people think in Australia, oh, okay, I missed out on that one. I don't want to miss out on it. So there's a lot of people that are investing at the moment, but it's a long process. It's a very long process.
It's interesting you bring up Afterpay, because just today Apple announcing that they're going to do their own buy now, pay later.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So Afterpay and Zip 10% down on the share market.
Is that
today.
right? Okay.
It hurt. But we'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're up, what are they, 300% or something?
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
in April last year, I think they were like $9 or $10 Afterpay.
Yeah. Jeez. That's crazy. I missed out on that one.
It's all right, mate. It's all right.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
But ever since I've known you, you've worked for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. My brother actually asked me that question yesterday. He said, it's pretty impressive that you've been working for yourself since you were 23. My first business was a video shop.
Out in Ardea?
Out in Ardea, yeah. And I didn't know you back then, but because I just got married, I was 24, put 500 grand into a video shop.
Yep.
And worked for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for debt.
What year was that?
That was 2004.
So that would have been like the peak of DVDs?
It would have been a peak of DVDs and game rentals as well. Was doing really well. But then as soon as Foxtel started doing do you remember Foxtel? You could just press a button and buy a movie or rent a movie.
Yep.
As soon as that took off, our numbers started to drop. It was obviously dwindled away. But yeah, I built my CRM product while I was there doing that.
So video shops, how did they make money back then?
Overdue fees.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, we used to run a campaign at our video shop, Tight Ass Tuesday. I mean, it wasn't called that, but $1 for any new release. So they would pay $1 and then pay $6 for overdues. And I would say 50% didn't return them.
Wow.
So we would charge them their $6 and then, but I couldn't charge someone that's where probably it didn't make money because I was there and I felt sorry for them that, they come up with a sob story why they couldn't return it. The kids were sick, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it for half. So I was a sucker. I really was probably why I didn't do well. But
yeah,
no, it's, but yeah, overdues. A lot of people didn't pay them. It wasn't a good
so if they didn't pay them, what happened? You just wore the debt?
You debt collectors. We sent debt collectors after them if it was over $50, but they take 50% of whatever they get anyway. So the good thing was there was no risk to use them.
Yeah.
But if they do collect, they take 50%.
Right.
Which was fair enough. I mean, yeah, if you can't get a hold of someone, you can't get a hold of someone.
But it's still like that at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Debt collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all the big, Optus and all that, they use them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So your CRM product.
Yes.
You did that.
I did that.
After the video shop.
Yeah, after the video shop. I signed up where my old workplace, which was Stockdale Lego and Corporate. And then I grew up from there, basically. Yeah, and that was my longest career doing the CRM.
Are you still doing it?
No.
Okay.
Wound that down and, yeah.
Well, you got into CRMs at the right time because that would have... Well, now, I mean...
Now there's heaps to choose from, yeah.
And, all the way from your biggest players like Salesforce...
Yeah.
All the way down to... I use a CRM called Pipe Drive, which was $10 a seat, and it was great.
Yeah. Do you still use that?
No, I don't use that anymore.
What do you know what they use?
We use Dynamics now.
Microsoft. I hate all the Microsoft products, like Microsoft Teams and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's another episode.
Yeah, it's another episode. And then, but then you had a really cool business.
Yep.
Just about a few years ago called Capture.
Yeah.
That did very well.
Yep.
Short
term. Yeah, it went well. And then the problem was it was a digital marketing business, and a lot of businesses, when they're investing that sort of money into it, they expect results instantly. And unfortunately that doesn't work like that. It's even worse now. Yep. Like before you start to see results, you're talking for 6 months now.
Yeah.
So, when you got a client that's paying you, $1,500 for a month, they're like, where's the results? And if you don't have them straight away, then you lose them.
Yeah.
Did well and then went away as quick pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it all happened for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now
learn digital marketing. Yeah.
So, listsocial.com.au.
Yep.
Which is one of our main partners for the podcast.
It will be. He's already working on me.
and mozziebands.com.au, Australia's go-to for mosquito band repellents, run by yours truly.
Yeah.
Which was a very great business many years ago when I launched it.
Yep.
I was getting these mosquito repellent bands, which I still...
They actually worked really well.
Yeah, they were... Well, they still are. They're fabric bands, essentially, with just containing citronella.
Yeah.
And
they work well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had many ventures over the years, many ventures, which is another episode in itself. But I mean,
that's career anyway. But yeah, one of my personal things that I love, which there's a lot of closet Disneyland fans out there, but yeah, really big Disney fan, the whole family. Probably not as much my wife, but me and the kids. Yeah, and there's going to be an episode on Disneyland as well, and about traveling to Disneyland and Disney World. I've done it 7 times, so know a fair bit about it. And your travel experience?
Yeah. I've done a significant amount of travel. I don't know if you've seen it. I've shared a photo or two over the years about where I've been. Being sarcastic.
You've got one of those global. Remember those things that you scratch off? Do you still have that or not?
Yeah, I do. But there's a few peculiar countries we've been to that don't actually make the map, right? Because
give me an example of one.
Well, luckily I've prepared
no
a
way.
document
There you go.
where I've been, because somewhere like Haiti. I've been to Haiti.
Okay. They didn't have a scratch.
No, because it's in the Caribbean islands.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's so small, so they kind of do Florida and they do a strip
as one scratch. Jeez, that's not like the travel time.
But I think Disneyland and traveling.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to do it next episode?
No, I'll do it next episode. Just wanted to touch that. That's something that's pretty big in our family, like Disney Plus, and we're really into Loki at the moment. The final episode was tonight.
Okay.
That's why I'm late.
Is that why? So here's the thing. Stephen called me about 7:30. So it's currently 9:30 p.m. on July 14. Yeah. Stephen called me about 7:30. And he goes, it's 9 o'clock, all right? I'm like, yeah, okay. I must have had a long day.
I did finish at 7, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you rang me and I was in the KFC drive-thru.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And as I'm ordering, I'm on speaker, he yells out, "And a go bucket!" I felt like an idiot. I was laughing my head off at the guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How was the KFC?
It was all right. I'll be onto that already. It was good. It was good.
Let's talk about cars.
Okay.
You've had a lot of cars over the years.
Yep.
And we don't have to go through every one. But good. From memory, you've gone from, would you have a Lancer?
Lancer was my first one.
All the way through to a McLaren.
Yep.
To a Ferrari.
Ferrari was first.
Yeah, Ferrari was first.
Yeah.
And all sorts.
And I used to work from home and I had 2 cars just for me. What an idiot.
Yeah, just looking at them.
Yeah, that's right. So one thing if it was one of my goals, like I remember very distinctively driving my dad back from a doctor's appointment and I had to go past Sagami's, right? And I said to my dad, one day I'm going to walk in there, I'm going to buy one. And he, obviously, my dad. Yeah, right, yeah, bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was one of my goals, and I did that. I walked into Zagami and negotiated from 400k to 300k to buy a McLaren.
Yep.
Anyone out there that's going to buy a supercar, there's a lot of meat to shave off. But yeah, I did that. I experienced it. I had it for about a year. Realized I don't need 2 cars because I work from home. And I was making excuses. I was making that's not including my wife's car. I was making excuses always to take it out.
Right.
Like, let's go have lunch. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, you'd pick me up.
Yeah, let's go have lunch. Let's go do this.
$300,000 car, and we'd go to Hungry Jack's or something like that.
Go to drive-through. Yeah, but you just realise that sometimes when you have a fantasy in your head on how you think you're going to enjoy that thing, once you do it and live it, your perception changes of it. And it does. Like, I've done it now, and as much as it was an awesome car, if I was ever to spend that sort of money on a car, I would buy that I can use whenever I wanted to without being worried about where I'm going to leave it. Because that was another thing there. You sort of don't want to leave it on the street. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I just felt.
You also didn't like the attention.
Yeah, that was one thing I thought I would like, but I didn't like.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is strange because I'm going to be doing a lot of PR at the moment and I'm going to be on TV and all that sort of stuff. So,
I think that's a little bit different. I mean, I remember driving in the McLaren and you go, I don't like people looking at me. I said, brother, what'd you buy a McLaren for?
Yeah. But you know what the funniest thing with the red Ferrari that I had, the 360, it always had this door problem, right? Okay. Anyway, and I would try and close it and it would just keep bouncing off like a wooden lock closed. Right. And when people are looking at, that's when I get embarrassed, right? When there's a lot of attention on you because you've just rocked up in this loud, bright red car. Yeah. straight away you're a wanker, number one. And then number two, you can't close the door. So you go on, I don't like it. Yeah, it wasn't the best experience. But
so what's the favourite car that you've ever had?
The most fun was the McLaren.
Yeah. You had about 21 cars because even though we were recording this, in the original recording, you
went through them all.
You reeled them off and I ticked them off, and it's actually right here still on this old sheet. And it was about 21 cars you've had.
That's pretty bad. But the McLaren, of course, you can't. That was amazing, that car. And I have to say the car I've got now, the M2 competition, and the Z4 before that as well. The Z4 was good. I really loved it with the roof down. In summer, I always used to have a tan. Yep. I don't get much sun, so
that's why you installed extra strong light bulbs in your office.
Yeah, so that was one of my favourite cars. I had that for 8 years, that car, so I had that the longest.
The Z4?
Yeah. Right. 8 years, that's not bad.
It's a long time.
Yeah. So it just shows you how many, I've only had sometimes a car for 6 months.
Yep.
And then I'd get rid of it.
You had the Golf GTI.
That was good. I had that for 6 months.
Was that only 6 months? That was a great car.
That was good. Yeah. I mean, the tech in that, it would park by itself. It would keep the lane assist.
Yeah, really that's
good.
right.
For the money, they're great cars. I just didn't like, as my only car, it to sound like, I don't know. That's one thing I think with the electric cars that I'm really going to miss the sound. Mm-hmm. So then that would justify having two cars again. You have one petrol one and one electric.
So Stephen and I have disagreed for years about electric cars.
Yeah.
Stephen's daughter's, I'm talking to you like there's a crowd here. I mean, your daughter's 14.
Yeah.
And are you saying not to get a driver's license?
No, I'm saying that Evie, who's 9.
Who's 9, sorry.
Evie, who's 9, will not need her driver's license. I'll lay money on that. And look, what is it today? 14th of July, 2021. When Evie turns 18, which is going to be in 9 years. 9 years.
So 2030.
2030. Come on. You think that Tesla's not going to get it right in 9 years?
So my argument is you'll still need to get your driver's license. Because
then how are Uber going to do robotic taxis?
Yeah, but it's going to be driverless, right? That'll be like drone based, right?
Same thing, yeah.
So you're telling me that in 9 years, Evie will say, "Hey Tesla, come pick me up."
That's what Uber's going to be, man.
I'm not talking about Uber. I'm talking about
but it's just going to be the same thing. That's what's going to be. Your car, the Tesla car, or not just them.
Remember when we said we're not going to judge people?
I'm not judging. I'm just explaining to you.
All right, look.
They're almost there. They really are. But you just hear stories on the media about idiots that falling asleep behind the wheel. Yeah. I mean, you can't cure stupidness. Do you know what I mean? It's not. That's the problem.
We found that out over the last year and a half, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'm saying that even though it'll be driverless, she'll still need to be able to have, or she will still need to have a driver's license to override anything in case of emergency.
In the latest Tesla, they don't even have a gear shift.
Okay.
The AI, which you can do manually though, but the AI basically decides it or knows what direction you want to go. So all you got to do is basically go, and it will know where you want to go, reverse or drive, right? So if that already knows that, Elon Musk has said, look, I know, things take a while with him, but he has said that there's going to be no need for a steering wheel.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
Yes, right.
But
we'll see what happens.
If anyone's listening, check us out on Instagram, Social Listening Podcast.
Yep.
Or sociallisteningpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what you think. But yes, you will still need a driver's license.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
You say potato, I say tomato.
I think it's tomato, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's an Ali.
And this is why we're not editing this podcast. This is it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
So let me talk about a little bit about our guests that we're going to have on this season, and then we'll wrap up episode 1.
And we might have a few new ones along the way as well. So
absolutely, yeah. So we're looking at about 10 episodes for our first season. We're going to have guests on one of my good friends, Dan Deltz, who used to, prior to COVID, bring down celebrities from the US and bring them down for the Comic Cons and doing private dinners with them. We did John Travolta, John Cena,
The Altman
Dolph
brothers.
Lundgren, Altman Brothers. Yep, absolutely.
Philip went to that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's cool. We're going to bring on another friend of mine who now basically does vintage clothing full time, which is an amazing business because the stuff that we were wearing 20 years ago that we just throw out, people are now paying hundreds of dollars for a ripped T-shirt that's not even in its original color,
that's crazy.
Which boggles me. And I'm really interested in having Ash on because he does a lot of markets and he's got Depop store and all that type of stuff.
Fantastic. I'll be interested to hear.
Full-time gig selling vintage clothing. Incredible.
Good on him.
We're going to have another friend of ours, Natalie, who was a salon owner or still is a salon owner, but had to change her business model once COVID hit.
Okay.
She started doing online consultations and ended up writing a book. So,
Fantastic.
I mean, if you said to her in January of last year, you're going to write a book, you'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm a hairdresser.
Exactly.
So, people that have had a really interesting story.
Yeah. I think with business, one thing I've learned is being able to pivot your business. So if you need to be able to do that depending on what is happening in your marketplace. So the fact that she pivoted, and found a different source of income, but used her knowledge in what she was doing. I think you need to do that. Just like hospitality, a lot of hospitalities then changed to commercial kitchens, just doing takeaway, which they were booming during COVID, the ones that already did that. Just like that Shane Dahlia guy as well.
Went to my high school.
Did he really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Filler Down Secondary.
There
you go.
There you go. It'll be good to get him on. He set up a business where it's basically all meals.
Provador.
Yeah, that's it. And he's killing it.
And I've used it and I think it's fantastic.
Have you? Okay.
Which if you tell me before COVID, you can order from the best restaurants in Melbourne, but we'll deliver it to your home, but you got to cook it. I'm like, are you crazy? Why would I do that? But look at it, it's gone successful. Yep. And I think the one thing that COVID's done, let's put politics aside, is that you're right. It's made people pivot and adapt, do things that they never thought they'd have to do to survive.
That's right.
Some for the better and a lot for the worse.
Yeah.
And just on COVID, we're going to dedicate one episode to it and then we're going to leave it.
Yeah. I think everyone's heard enough of it, to be honest.
Yeah, we've heard enough of it the last year and a half. But we'll only mention it at the start of every episode.
Or if it's related to
if
what
it's
we're
related,
talking about.
that's right.
Yeah.
But we're not going to harp on about it.
Yeah.
Same as politics. I despise Daniel Andrews, and
we agree on that one.
I think myself and you and half of Melbourne agree, but we won't harp on about him.
No. Look, I want to not try be political because, I mean, at the end of the day, my opinion is I don't like any of them, Liberal, Labor, whatever.
Doesn't exist anymore.
So, it's all about just getting votes and, But anyway, we won't go down that path.
No, we won't.
No. I'd rather talk about religion. I'd rather talk about...
You're a bag of fun, mate. Jesus, I wish you told me that before I purchased the equipment.
Come on, have you researched Scientology and all that? It's fascinating, man. I love all that stuff.
Look, I've got a couple of friends who are heavily religious, and all the best.
What religion?
Like Catholic.
Oh, like Catholic. Who is Moses, Dennis?
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
God.
But every guest we bring on, we're going to finish them up by asking what they're watching at the moment.
Yeah,
in terms of TV, of course.
Yeah.
Favorite TV shows and favorite movies.
Okay.
So we're not going to ask for your top 3 or top 5, but do you have any that, if someone says, give me a movie to watch that'll change me forever, do you have any?
That'll change you?
Yeah, or you just like, you know what,
I
can't
really
believe
love.
it. Yeah. Oh, you really love? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I haven't seen Casino. I know you that look you just gave me.
And that's all we have for today.
I've never seen some of the I never saw Die Hard before.
Okay.
And Amber said you have to watch it because she loved it, and it wasn't bad. It was all right. I mean, apparently the second one's supposed to be better. I don't know, but I've seen a hell of a lot of movies, and to not see some of the big mainstream ones, it's a bit strange.
Well, I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Oh.
See? But I've been on the ride 100 times.
And you didn't get it. There's
a big ball chasing me.
Like Harry Potter land when we went there. Gosh. You're like, what the hell is all this?
So we'll go into that later on in another episode. But we went to Universal Studios in Orlando together and we went to Harry Potter land. And I just didn't get it.
I know. And I'm like, why am I here with him?
And I'm like, what is this?
You see people dressed up with their robes, and some people really. I mean, look, I love it as well. They're one of my top movies. They're in my top Harry Potter.
Okay.
But it's Lord of the Rings. It's Star Wars.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Yeah, there's heaps of them. Like this, it's got to be 10 movies that I love. But what I'm watching right now is Loki.
Okay.
And that just ended tonight, and it sort of ended on a cliffhanger that they're going to do another season, I think. So, but I'll watch some YouTube video on it, and sure, these nerds will tell me what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because there's so many hidden things. I mean, I'm a Marvel fan, but not a Marvel comic book fan. So all the comic book fans know what's going on, so they explain it. But anyway,
what about TV shows or TV series? Are there any that you're just like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen?
Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Handmaid's Tale. Those.
Handmaid's Tale is quite eerie, isn't it? I mean, you feel that you can kind of relate. Well, what is it? You can relate to it.
Well, when Trump was going on and all that shit in America, it sort of looked like.
No swearing.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll beep it out.
Cool.
So I loved Handmaid's Tale. And it started to get a bit too many close-ups of her with that angry face in the last season. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like, just too long, I thought. Move on. All right, we know she's angry.
So you're up to date with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, as soon as it came out, I liked
right.
it. Yeah. Another one I really love, and I can't wait for season 3, is Ozark on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. I really like that show. But Breaking Bad, I think that was probably my favorite.
Really?
That or Sopranos, one of them two.
I'm rewatching Sopranos at the moment.
I've only watched it once.
So I've seen Sopranos in its entirety around 20 odd times. But you know what?
Do you watch it flat out, like binge watch it, or
this time I'm not, but every other time I have.
Okay, so whatever you watch.
Yeah. So now it's on Binge, the platform.
Okay.
And I accidentally discovered that it was on.
Yeah.
And I just flicked on season 4, and I'm like, this show is like 15, 20 years old.
And it's still good.
And it stands a test of time.
You know, we watched it. We were that hooked on it, me and Amber, because we watched it obviously when it was off air. Like, you could binge watch it. And we watched about 8 episodes in a day. And at that night, I dreamt that Tony, what's his name? Tony Soprano was my dad. It was like, when you binge watch something like that, he was at the pool in his dressing gown.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just admitted that.
With the day-date Rolex, the gold day-date Rolex.
So, when you binge watch something like that. We did that with Prison Break as well. The first and second season of Prison Break were fantastic, but have you seen the new one?
Gosh. The first one was amazing, the first season. Incredible.
And the second.
Second was pretty good.
Yeah, when they were chasing after him and that.
Yep.
But after that, it's like, he's in jail again. Come on.
Yep. Anyway. I've just started watching the new season of Animal Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Is that good?
On Netflix, yeah. It's about the brothers that are basically a crime gang.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty good.
What's that other bikey one you said that was good?
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of that.
You either love it or hate it.
Okay.
A lot of people say it's bikers with way too many emotions, right?
Okay.
So,
I watched the first episode because you told me to. You said it would be good, and I didn't really.
No,
I couldn't connect with it.
I mean, that's like most series. After 1 or 2 episodes, you've got to give it a bit more. Like Sopranos was like that. The first season of Sopranos.
Thinking about Game of Thrones.
I've never seen it. Never seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's. I love that. I loved it, but you got to get through the first season.
Okay, yeah, that's
because
probably why.
We tried to watch it twice, and there was that too many character names being thrown at you, and you just, I mean, the way I was like, who the hell's Baratheon and this and that? I didn't know who was who. There was that many names and families, but then after you realise who's who, it's just fantastic. It is awesome.
And just before we finish up, I'm looking at your cap, Filmling.
Yeah.
So Stephen one day pings me on Facebook Messenger, and he goes, I had the most vivid dream in my life. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I'm going to write a comic book.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, sure enough, this man ends up writing an entire comic book, gets a full design done.
Yeah.
You still got prints of it?
Yeah. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it about?
Comixology.
What was it called?
Rise.
Yeah.
Rise, yeah. It's about like an alternate reality where the first slaves that came from Africa to New York actually escaped and fought back, and there's one guy left. So, yeah, it's about that, and then it goes then to like the 1900s, early 1900s. So it goes back and forward. So,
Right, in
but
different
the
periods.
the first comic book is based on the boat.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, but look, if it's been downloaded a few hundred times, so it's no
That's good.
record breaker. But I would. That is definitely something I want to do, and that's finish the series because it's all I've got it all written down. I just haven't had the artwork done on it. But that's something I definitely will do before I die.
So I think before again, I was about to say before you die, you should also write a list of things that you've done because you've done a lot of different businesses.
Yeah.
Some successful, some not.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we've all been there.
Yeah. You learn.
Yeah, that's right.
It's if you keep making the same mistake, then you're
Yeah.
an idiot. Yeah, that's what I think.
Everyone makes mistakes.
No judgment here.
Yeah, just don't make too many of them. Yeah.
That's right.
And what do you got to lose besides money?
That's it. You earn it again. That's my mentality.
Anyway, we've kind of rambled on a little bit. So just
I think it's been good.
Yeah, we're about to finish up. When we first recorded our first episode, that's not this one. We spent a lot of time talking about ourselves and what we've done and all this. Whereas now we've just
Sort of a mixture.
we let it flow a little bit more and
But look, once we've got a guest and we're talking about a specific topic, obviously then, but I think it's good that people get to know what we're like and what we think. And it's been good.
Thank you. Well, that's about it. Until next time.
See you later.
See you later.